Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will have with us our esteemed guest, Mr. Shashank Sharma, founder, chairman, and CEO of Sunshare Energy. Please put your hands together to welcome him on this engaging discussion.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Shashank. So, to start this discussion, and we believe Sunshare has been making great name and work when it comes to renewable energy and power. So, I would start asking, saying that how do you see the energy transition in the country and Sunshare making its presence and perceiving this transition? How do you think?
Okay, so let me just start with India because that's something that's very close to us. In fact, our vision says that we are here to power India's energy independence, right? So, India today is in a multi decade growth cycle, right? And there's going to be massive boom in the country. A lot of physical infrastructure, digital infrastructure is going to come up. India is going to be the office of the world, the factory of the world. The EV transition is happening in India. So I think we're in a very good spot today, and energy is going to be a big theme. Right? It's a great theme for decades to come, and you know, in this entire growth cycle, industries are going to be leading
Yeah.
this growth in India, and industries consume 50% of India's energy today,
Yeah.
right? And that's our focus sector.
Yeah.
So at Sunshaw, what we are doing is we are supplying low cost green energy to large corporates, right? Setting up large plants for them and supplying power to them, bringing their energy costs down. What this is doing essentially is making our industries more competitive, right? And improving their appeal in the global market, right? If you know that a lot of countries are coming up with these green taxes.
Yeah.
Europe has come up with the green tax. It's called CBAM, and where they want industries, the products that they use should come from cleaner manufacturing, right? So that's what we are helping our industries do: get their costs down, making them competitive, and increasing the appeal of their products in the global market.
So when you mention about the industries, I see there are a lot of segments. So
Yeah.
is there any particular segment or industry you are targeting when you look at the Sunshare's vision for next 5 years?
Now, as I said, our vision is much broader.
Broader,
It's
yeah.
it's powering India's energy independence, and so let me tell you more about what we are doing and how the company is placed. We're probably the youngest company in the country. The average age here in our office is 32, right? We are
Yeah.
the youngest company in the country which is working in the energy infrastructure space and which is doing work at this scale, right? So we have 20 years, 20-25 years to build Sunshore into a giant energy
Yeah.
giant, right? So, so that this work that we are doing, we are keeping in mind certain large energy guzzlers, right? So these guzzlers being, I mean, traditional infrastructure guzzlers, are metals, minings sectors, cement, right? These are
Yeah.
the top sectors, and a new breed of guzzlers, which is digital guzzlers, are coming up, which we the data centers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And with the advent of artificial intelligence, we believe that a lot of data centers are going to come up in India, and we are here to cater to that demand.
Picking it up from your last answer that you are one of the youngest companies
Companies.
and you have a lot more younger players. So obviously we are looking into more innovating ourselves and using more of new tools and technology. So you would like to
Yeah.
talk more about those innovations and technology you have imbibed into your system?
See, renewable energy for many years has been cheaper than coal, right?
Yeah.
That's a fact. And India is one of the cheapest producers of renewable energy globally. Now, what renewable energy does not have, that it's not a firm power, right? It's intermittent in nature. What we are doing at Sunshore, right, is that we are trying to make renewable energy firm, right? And if we are able to do that while keeping costs low, we will actually get to what we call the energy independence. By the way, we spend $150 billion every year to import oil and gas in the country, right? And if we are able to do this, this is called the round the clock renewable energy solution, right? It's called RTC. So while combining solar, wind, and battery storage along with the management that we have to do, and that is a solution that we are working on, and I think that's the solution of the future. It's not happening anywhere in the world, right? And even in India, right, there are certain players who are just focusing on plain vanilla stuff, just doing solar and wind. While as a company, we are investing a lot in the RTC solution, and from FY27, majority, almost 90% of our business is going to be coming from the round the clock solution. So that is one, that is around making renewable energy firm. Right? The other thing that we are working on is, as you said, a AI driven solution that is for our customers, and that is on the demand side, right? So today, the market in India, and when it comes to power buying, right, it's not that deep, it's not that democratized, right? But going forward, we believe that industries would want to have more control on how they procure power, right? And it's just not the DISCOM, it's just not the long-term PPAs. The market will be much bigger. For that to happen, they will have to take real-time energy buying decisions, right? So that's one of the solutions that we are working on with few of our customers. How do we get a solution? How do we implement a solution which is AI driven, which takes calls on its own and optimizes their power buying costs? So these are the two things that we are working on. And I think these are the solutions of the future as far as energy is concerned.
No, I agree with you because everything is end of the day business, and without profit, nobody wants to run business. But we talk here that we are here for sustainable development of industries and businesses, but we need to marry both sustainability and profit. And when you talk about creating cost saving solutions, I think that's a wonderful idea when we want to address the challenges also, but keeping in mind all the costs. But one question that comes in my mind here is, how about your operational process and excellence when it comes to it? Because hearing it and talking for us, it looks very nice that you're doing. I'm sure when it comes at operations level, it would be a different level of challenge and execution things happening. So we would like to know a little more about it.
Yeah, so actually, one of the values at Sunshore is execution is God. So there's one thing to dream, and to execute that is one thing, and that's the most challenging part. And we believe companies who are able to execute better are eventually the winners in the long run, right? So, so this organization has been built and is being built with a very long-term mindset. We are investing in long-term capability creation with the view that we have to be best we have to do best in class execution, right? And you're right, building infrastructure in India is a challenge. Acquiring land, dealing with small farmers, getting that land, constructing and operating it because we are asset owners is a challenge, and that is how the organization has been built. But that will and this is something that we discuss internally. If you look at the next 10 years, companies who are good in execution are the ones who are going to survive and consolidate. There's a lot of money which is going to come in India, so we want to be, and we believe we'll be one of the companies which will be a preferred choice for global funds to invest money in the energy infrastructure sector in India because of our execution capabilities.
Yeah, I'm sure. And with all the answers you have been giving, I had one question, but I can now take some answers by itself. But surely I would like to understand from you that what do you think Sunshore has those edge on advantages, or what you feel is keeping you above all those players in the market? Definitely, we're a competitive country wherein we have a lot of competition coming up, and if we have those advantages only, that makes us survive. Of course, what you said is the answer to it, but let me hear it from you again on.
So I don't think there is just any one thing that I can point to.
Yeah.
We believe, our company, as I said, is execution is God, is one of our values, right? And one thing that we want to do is speed is very, very important
Yeah.
for us, right? So when this is a B2B business that we are into, we go and sell energy, right, to customers. So we when we go into the market, right, we go out with a ready product, right, which is something that a lot of other companies
Yeah.
lack, our competitors lack, right? And when we go out with a ready product, we are welcomed by the customers who are, and
Yeah.
our growth has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we getting into the market with a ready product is one thing. Having this execution oriented DNA is another thing that helps. As I said, we are one of the youngest companies. The average age here is 32. So that energy and passion that we have at Sunshore, I think, is unmatched, right?
Yeah.
So all these things combined with the experience that we have, I think that gives us an edge. And see, the technology that we are working on, I told you we are working on creating the right architecture so that we can transition from just solar or just wind products to a round the clock solution.
Right. Right.
I don't think a lot of companies, because this is a complex thing to do, and chugging out high efficiency, highly profitable projects at scale is
Yeah.
a challenge. So I don't think a lot of companies will be able to make that transition,
Yeah.
right? But because of our long-term mindset
Yeah.
and the way we are investing in our team and long-term capability creation, I think we are one of those companies will be able to transition, but not everyone will be able to. So that's our.
I think
that's our
I
edge.
liked it very much because we are here to have that conversation, and the answer was also very sustainable in terms of long term planning, working today and thinking about the future. I think that was the perfect way. And you focus very rightly on three main pillars when we talk about building a business or building an industry. That resources is important, your speed and expertise is important, and of course, infrastructure is important. So, if you're catering to all these things, I am in agreement that it works. One question here that of course there would be challenges. We're talking about a lot much about the good things, but in fact it's important for us also to understand that what are the challenges you see in this journey, and getting to that figure of your vision of your company, and also catering to the need of the country.
So, okay. When we speak about challenges, right? So what we need to, the way we need to understand this is that because we are a renewable energy company, there is a demand side, there is a supply side. India, we don't have dearth of neither the demand side nor the supply side. Right? Enough solar energy potential, enough wind energy potential that's coming from the supply side. Demand, as I said, we are one of the fastest growing. In fact, we are the fastest growing economy in the world today, right? And people say this is India's decade.
Yeah.
Next few decades are going to
Yeah.
be India's decades, right? So the demand side is also there. We have to marry them.
Yeah.
There, I think there are certain things that we have to focus on. Uh, our ambition is so big that we'll have to attract a lot of foreign capital, which is
Right.
India is doing, by the way. And for that, we'll have to work on our brand. Like, this is brand India, right? Which I think we've done a fantastic job. And we have to work on that. We have to make the world believe and feel that India is a place where they can make their investments and make long-term investments, right? So that is one. The other thing is the regulation and policy. I think that is something where we would need stability, right? There have been certain flip-flops, and I think it's a part of a growing economy, right? But that's one of the challenges for me. So capital coming in, brand, as I said, then having regulatory stability, then investment in the grid infrastructure of the country, right? So today, even though our ambition is doing 50 gigawatts a year, I don't think we have the grid infrastructure to support it, right? So that's something that the government is anyways working on, but that's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Today, if you want to plan a project, a large project, you can't set up that project before say 27, right? Because the availability is not there. So that's one thing that we have to. That's one of the challenge. And land, of course, being a perpetual challenge in the country, land acquisition, right of way issues. I mean, those are there. one thing that we feel, because renewable energy is such an upcoming sector, I think we'll have to also invest in capability creation of our people, right, and in general in the country, right. So without that, getting to the number of 500, 600, 700 gigawatts that we want in the next 10 years, that would be
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe closing on one last question, being as a founder, chairman, and the CEO of a company who is moving very fast in achieving the goals, what is that one advice, or you can say an implementation action you feel you would like to give to our audience when it comes to renewable energy industry?
when it comes to renewable energy industry. Okay, so I think because we are in this industry, and sustainability is at the core of the work that we do. My advice will be was we need to be prudent in the way we use our resources today, tomorrow, whenever, and we have to uh, leave this planet to be a livable place, right, for the future generation. So recycle, reuse, whatever we can, right, and as I said, we are putting too much pressure on planet Earth. That's something that we need
Current
to be mindful
resources.
of.
Yeah, I think very rightly said. So thank you so much, Shashank, and it was pleasure talking to you. And we hope we keep taking such discussions with you and understanding more how we are looking at the
My
industry.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank you.